Okay, so I've had 4 or 5 people just dying for me to get back to the Sharp TV. You know, and I'm ready to get back to it too. Well, I should say I'm close to ready. I am caught up on NES RGB orders except for one guy who has just, you know, fell off the face of the earth. I've emailed him a dozen times, can get no reply out of him. And then I have 2 NES RGB to component consoles that I'm going to start working on now, and then once those are done, I'll probably get back to the Sharp NES TV. And this one is not mine. I have 2 of these in my house. It's crazy. Some guy overseas was having problems, or I guess he seen my video and he wanted to buy one, and he was having problems getting any eBay seller to ship it to him. You know, understandable, and he emailed me about it. And I said, well, you have to use a proxy service. You know, there's plenty of people. I don't know, I don't recommend anybody specific, but you know, have the eBay seller send it to them, and then they send it to you wherever you're at, wherever in the world. I've been a part of it. I've sent something to somebody in Florida that ended up going overseas somewhere in Europe, I think. I don't remember what the deal was. I don't remember why I had anything to do with it. I think maybe they will collect, you know, a few packages from you and then send them all at once. I think that was the deal. But anyway, he said, well, I wanted to send it to you anyway for mods or whatever, which honestly, that's not really looking that good right now. I do think this particular tube TV is composite input only, and trying to feed RGB into the electron guns is probably a little bit beyond what I'm capable of doing, although it would be super cool to do it. And if anybody has any links to a how-to on how to do that, I would totally read that over, and I would keep my TV for as long as it took to try to get that done. You know, because I've got a couple hundred, you know, $250 invested in it so far, so it's not like it's a huge loss if I blow it up. You know, it kind of is, but it'd be worth it to me to try to feed RGB into the CRT. Oh, speaking of the component top loaders, you can see the Steve, or not the Steve, I'm sorry, Tim Worthington has finally put out his version of the component board. I don't seem to be focusing too well. I've got my lens on there. It's a very small board, and it just produces PB and PR, since Y is already on the NES RGB board. And it looks like a fairly simple circuit, 1 op-amp chip and a bunch of resistors and a couple caps, so honestly I might just copy it and not have to worry about him supplying it to me. I don't know how much it is. He sent this one to me for free for testing, and honestly I only have 2 people anyway over the last, how long has it been now? It's been almost a year since the NES RGB came out. I've only had a couple people actually want that done, but now I have a few options because Helder, the guy that makes the 3D printed rear panels, also sent me his version of a component encoder board, which is not far off from the one that I had made for myself anyway, based on the Super Nintendo chip. So, and I have yet to get his working. It's actually installed right now on the center one there, and I couldn't get nothing out of it. I've got a separate video for that stuff. But this video is more about this guy's Sharp NES TV. I believe when he bought it, it had all 4 feet, and it does have both doors, and it's got the Nintendo Seal of Quality sticker over here, which is kind of cool. But as you'll see in some video I shot a few days ago, I'll show that here in a few minutes, the guy that shipped it to me didn't do a very good job. Story of my life, man. People just, they don't take very good care when shipping, but this guy like made it worse by what he did, and you'll see it. So one of the feet completely broke off. Terrible. And then, which is the right front one, and the left front one is cracked, so it no longer can support weight at all. But I was really looking for a remote, and I'm actually going to put out a call for assistance. If anybody wants to loan me the remote, the original remote for this TV. I think there might be a workaround for having the original one. It's this one. This is not the right one. However, it's very, very similar. I think the one for the Sharp pt2 has another button right here and maybe up here. Okay? So, and I believe somebody has a website somewhere or was talking about it on a forum somewhere where they were talking about this remote working for this TV. Which, oh, I gotta put batteries in it, of course. Which, this is more about what this video is going to be about. This is just a semi-update for the Sharp pt2 because that's all I can really come up with for you for now. Other than I wanted to show this guy's TV and how it was shipped to me and how it was broken and everything else. But I want to work on that remote a little bit here because it's just something easy I can do on the side. I'll put some batteries in that remote and we'll see what works on that remote. And then I'm going to show you the inside of the remote because it was kind of a surprise to me. Okay, batteries are in. Power button works on this. It's a great start already. The TV seems to power up fine. Let's see, channel up, channel down work. There's no freaking volume indicator, so I have no idea if that works. 0, 9, 8, 7, 4, 5, 6, 3, 2, 1. They all work. The sleep button works. You can see it's going to different times, 30, 60, 90. And it says sleep call. I have no idea what that means. Let's see. Memory button works. I don't know how to work it, but the memory light's going in and out. Apparently memory add works. And erase, and making the number flash. Flashback works, 11 to 22. So right there, that's like 90% of what you want it to do anyway. And I believe the button that was right there was to switch it to game mode, which on here would just be powering on the NES. Ugh. More freaking packing peanuts. As you'll see later, this shit was everywhere. Terrible. Kind of looks like there's a piece down in the 72-pin connectors also. Super. Whoa. Our levels are way off here. Another freaking peanut. Let's see. Brightness works. There's the indent. Color works. No indent for that one. Tint works. Picture works. And somebody mentioned that there's these two holes that you can stick a screwdriver into. Are they Phillips? Yeah. Okay, so we get a vertical, probably horizontal stretch. Oh, what's that? Kind of a, I don't know, second brightness. Get our color back here a little bit. That is much, much better. So we only get a vertical stretch on the second hole. It's interesting. Let's see. Channel up, channel down. Okay, work down there. Reset button works. Sorry. Hear that motorcycle? My buddy just showed up. It's Honda VFR. So we'll pause the video. Okay, my buddy walked in and I kind of lost my train of thought. It was like 5 hours ago when I stopped that video. I really wish I would have kept it running though, because he walked in and looked straight at this thing. He's like, "Whoa, what the fuck is that?" And then I swear to God, like 10 seconds after he walks in the door, 2 doors down from my house, a SWAT team invades the house, and there was 2 flashbangs. We had no idea what it was. I mean, it was way louder than a gunshot. You know, I mean, it sounded like somebody filled a balloon with acetylene and lit it. It was that loud, and it was inside a house, 2 doors down, and we heard it in here like it was just out, like it was a shotgun going off right outside my window. Crazy. So yeah, we were outside for like 2 hours watching the goings-ons of the local police, and I mean, the only cool thing is apparently our local department has like a little remote control bomb detecting, what do you call it? It looks like a little tank. And he was outside playing with it in the yard of the house they were invading. So yeah, where was I? I was getting ready to test the controllers. They're fine. And I was going to show you the remote control on the inside, so let's do that. Okay, so there's the one screw, and then it like slides, and then it separates, and I've already had this apart and cleaned it. Typical membrane, old school controller, or old school remote. Not a lot going on, but look at that. Every single pad exists between the 2 controllers. So what I'm really curious of is if this chip right here is the same between them, because if it is, then I'm kind of curious if just hitting that pad would actually make the TV game switch happen. That'd be really cool. I'm sure there's a way I could figure out how to make that happen. I guess really all I need to do is just cut out that hole. I mean, I paid a whopping $7 for this remote, shipped from in the States. So yeah, if you want a remote for your Sharpie NES TV that does, you know, most of the functions except for maybe a couple buttons, there you go. I think I might try that. I mean, what am I going to lose? A $7 remote that nobody wanted anyway? Yeah, let's do that. I'm going to open that up and see if we can make something happen here. Okay, so on further investigation, the plastic hole is already there. It's just the hole in the cover itself. So all you would really need to do think come on, watch me cut myself. Maybe it's just thicker than I think it is. Yeah, there we go. and even the button on the membrane is there, and all we have to do is poke something down through here to actuate it. Might as well open this one up. I'm not sure if it exists on the NES TV one or not. I've already ruined it, so can't make it worse. Okay, I'm gonna go get the batteries and let's try this thing. Okay, power still works. I guess I don't need a game in it. Looks like it's trying to do something. Oh! The upper left one turned on the Nintendo. Boom. That's excellent. Look at that. Now if there was just a way I could add, I guess you could just super glue some kind of, I don't know, a Lego onto it. Oh, come on. Okay. That is fucking excellent. Now I just need to find out what that button was supposed to do. It doesn't do anything in NES mode, although it makes the LED readout flicker. Man, $7 and the original remote would run you $100 plus. And it's the exact same thing as this cheap $7 remote with a couple holes cut into it. Super cool. So, the last thing I wanted to talk about with this TV before I show you the unpacking of this one was one of the reasons the guy sent this to me. He said, take as long as you want and try to get the doors copied and 3D printed. And I think that's a great idea. I mean, there's really only going to be less than 100 people out there that would actually like to buy 3D printed versions of this door. I'd like to have it set for my TV. I'd really like to have a whole 3D printed new base, possibly with stronger material or stronger gussets over here on the feet, or just get rid of them completely. I wouldn't mind that idea at all. But the guy that does the 3D printed back panels on the NES 101, Buffalo Wing, didn't seem too interested in actually taking on this project. He wants more high volume stuff, and I can't blame him. So if anybody knows of a cheap, what am I trying to think of, 3D laser copying service, something I can just send the pieces into them, pay a little bit of money, and then they can send me the files, and I can have the files and actually send them somewhere else to have the pieces printed, that'd be excellent. Maybe we'll start a separate thread, or just keep on the official Sharp NES TV thread on Nintendo Age and see who actually wants to order these pieces. If we get some kind of price quote on what it's going to cost to first have them digitized, or whatever you want to call it. Scan. Is it laser scan? I'm trying to think of the terms that I was using to search for the companies that would actually do that. But it'd be nice to get a rough idea of what it's going to cost to have them scanned and digitized, and then even better to find out what it's going to cost to make just a few one-off pieces, because this is not going to be, and probably not even a 100-item run. So anyway, that's about all I wanted to show you about the Sharp NES TV for now, other than I will show the video about how it was shipped to me, mostly for the guy that bought it. I think he did actually get some money back from the eBay seller, but yeah, it was an epic fail. And yes, just so we can make it official, it's an SV, serial number 516697, November of '89. So what was in the big box? Yep, another Sharp NES TV. And the only reason I'm even making a video about it is I wanted to show the new customer, or the new owner I should say, who will be a customer of mine, that it came damaged. The original owner made this frame supposedly to try to help the feet, and I think all he did was make it worse. This front right one has completely separated. Let's see if I can put some light on this. You can see that with the light. That foot has completely separated. That one has a giant crack in it. And I can't quite see the back ones yet. That one seems to be okay, but the frame, in my opinion, was made completely opposite of what it needed to happen. What needed to happen was you needed to support the weight of the TV, not the feet. I think all he did was remove support and add extra leverage on the feet, and it completely ruined it. Not to mention it wasn't really packed very well. All this styrofoam, this shit is hard. This is not a soft material, and it was just thrown into the sides of the TV, and the TV was sitting on some good peanuts, but that was it. You can't expect a shipping service to treat something this heavy very well. The FedEx guy rolled it up onto my porch with a two-wheeler, so it's not like he flung it around and just dropped it off, but still not very well packed. Well, the more I mess with it, the worse it gets. You can see he just laid it right on a bed full of these damn peanuts. I mean, I like styrofoam peanuts, but this is the worst kind of styrofoam peanuts because they just break for nothing, and you get all these little tiny pieces of shit that just get in everywhere, especially vents like this. But you can see the frame is up above the bottom of the TV. So it literally took all of the weight from all this wood and put it right on the feet. So it doesn't feel like the other three are broken off, but that one was definitely toast.